watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Good evening and thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio, and now streaming at KPVM.TV and on Roku. I'm Chris Palermo on this Monday, March 4th. Here's what's happening. The man involved in the two-vehicle fatal crash on February 23rd on Highway 160 in Homestead in Pahrump appears in Justice Court this morning. News 25 reporter David Preston has the details.
Alleged DUI driver Bain Lobato appears in Judge Michelle Ferrori's Justice Court this morning over the two-vehicle fatal crash that happened after 8 p.m. on February 23rd at the intersection of Highway 160 and Homestead Road and killing a 5-month-old infant named Benny. Baby Benny was ejected out of his mother's vehicle when Bain Lobato collided with their small SUV while driving at a high rate of speed and blowing through a red traffic light. Bain Lobato was driving a larger white SUV. Bain Lobato appeared with his public defender before Judge Michelle Ferrori, and a preliminary hearing was scheduled for March 13th of this year. News 25 will stay on this story and update our viewers as it develops further.
And a GoFundMe page was created for baby boy Benny the night of the vigil, Saturday, February 24th, to help Benny's family pay for his funeral expenses. Thanks to the overwhelming support of this amazing community, Pahrump, Benny's family has already surpassed their goal of $15,000. If you still would like to donate to their GoFundMe fundraiser for baby boy Benny and his family, you can go to their GoFundMe page at the link provided on this screen. We will also provide this link on our YouTube and Facebook posts tonight. More news now. More countries have condemned the actions taken by Israeli troops when they fired on Palestinians waiting for aid. Meanwhile, the UNRWA will be receiving more funding in order to serve Palestinians. RJ Camacho has more on this story.
In response to Israeli troops opening fire on a group of Palestinians waiting for aid on February 29th, more countries have begun to condemn the actions taken by Israeli troops. According to the Gaza Health Ministry, at least 112 Palestinians were killed, with hundreds more being left wounded from the incident. Israel has confirmed that the troops indeed opened fire on the civilians, but they claimed that many of those who died were trampled in a rush for the food, and troops only fired when they felt threatened by the crowd. Before, it was Egypt's foreign ministry and a Palestinian diplomat at the United Nations that condemned the shooting. The shooting, which the Gaza Health Ministry has called a massacre. Now, Turkey, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia have also condemned the shooting. Turkey called the shooting, quote, yet another crime against humanity. The Turkish foreign ministry continued to state that the entire world must realize that the atrocity in Gaza is about to become a global catastrophe with repercussions far beyond the region. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia has accused Israel of targeting unarmed civilians. Israel has stated that they will be reviewing the incident, and the U.S. will monitor said investigation, as well as pressing the Israeli government for answers. Meanwhile, in response to Israel's claims that most of the civilians died from trampling as they rushed to get food, the head of a Gaza City hospital that treated those who were wounded stated that over 80% of those treated at said hospital were struck by gunfire. Dr. Mohammed Salah, who is the acting director of the Al-Wada Hospital, stated that 142 out of the 176 brought to the facility had suffered from gunshot wounds. The other 34 showed injuries that stemmed from a stampede. Lastly, the European Union has stated that it will be giving $54 million to the UNRWA after the organization agreed to allow EU-appointed experts to audit the way it screens staff in order to identify identify extremists. The European Commission has stated that the UNRWA has, quote, indicated that it stands ready to ensure that a review of its staff is carried out, in order to confirm whether or not they participated in the October 7th attack, as alleged by Israel. The funds will be sent to the UNRWA next week, once the agency confirms in writing that it agrees to the European Union's conditions.
Back here locally, a new study details the top states of pedestrian fatalities, with Nevada placing 5th on the list. For more on this story, we go to Anthony Roberts.
A new study analyzing official government data has identified Nevada as ranking 5th in the top states in the country for pedestrian fatalities. There was 1,662 total reported traffic fatalities, with pedestrians accounting for 393, or 23.65% of these deaths. This means almost a fourth of all traffic fatalities here in Nevada involved pedestrians. The data for this study was obtained from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration Motor Vehicle Crash Database and Reporting System. It involved a thorough analysis of the number of pedestrians killed in traffic crashes relative to the total number of people killed in crashes in each state from 2017 to 2021. It is imperative, as a community, we remind everyone to wear reflective or bright-colored clothing, especially when walking at night, as well as to be aware of your surroundings and to always use the crosswalk.
And Jackie Rosen and her colleagues sent a letter recently urging our president to focus funding on border security and preventing fentanyl smuggling.
On February 29th, Nevada Senator Jackie Rosen joined her colleagues in calling on President Joe Biden to prioritize funding on securing the U.S. southern border as well as stopping fentanyl smuggling. In the letter, they stated that fentanyl is destroying communities across the nation, and it's been smuggled through border checkpoints. The senators wrote on how the misuse of opioids has been a public health crisis in the United States for a long time, and spoke on how the situation is worsening at a high rate. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, between August of 2022 and August of 2023, an estimate of over 112,000 people died from a drug overdose of synthetic opioids like fentanyl. There has also been an increase in accidental overdose deaths in youths that has doubled between the third quarter of 2019 and the third quarter of 2022. The senators wrote that due to the widespread availability and low cost of fentanyl, fentanyl can often be mixed in with other illicit drugs to increase its potency. This is often done without the user of said drug even knowing. The letter stated that, in order to meaningfully address the fentanyl crisis, law enforcement officers at our nation's borders must be equipped to combat the flow of fentanyl and other illicit drugs. They continued stating that there must be support for the law enforcement agencies responsible for investigating both smuggling and trafficking crimes, and that more work must be done in order to disrupt criminal networks that threaten our country and communities.
More news in a bit, and News 25 takes a trip to Nellis Air Force Base.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back. I'm Chris Palermo. News 25 met up with David Filippo, running for Congressional District 4 seat, at the Lincoln Day dinner that took place at the Pahrump Nugget in February. I speak with David about issues that plague us all. We talked off mic about energy costs. Perhaps they drive everything. What's your position on the energy cost here?
Yeah, let me give you a little background first, okay? I'm a retired military, so 25 years, combat commander. And I served in Iraq from Desert Storm all the way through Iraqi freedom. So I understand national security and I understand border security, so we can talk about that too. I worked on the oil fields of Alaska for 10 years, okay? I understand energy, I understand oil, and I understand what they're doing with oil. And currently I run 2 small businesses. So when you ask me about energy and something I know about, and the reason I'm running, is if we get energy costs back down, if we bring gas prices down, then my costs at my stores goes down. The costs for every transportation, from the ships to the cars to your personal vehicles, all goes down, which is going to it's going to bring the inflation back down. The price of goods in the stores will come back down. Right now, everything is so expensive right now because we have to pay for that fuel cost.
David, why is it, as you just eloquently put that, why is it some people cannot understand that? Is it because they will just vote party lines no matter what?
They don't want to understand. They don't want the facts, right? And we know this. So when you talk facts to them, they want to go, oh, no, it's all Russia's fault. The gas price wouldn't be this high if it wasn't for Russia. No, gas prices went down the day Biden took office when he signed the executive order to go combat against oil, right? We need an all-inclusive energy policy that includes everything. It includes oil, it includes winds, it includes solar, it includes the lithium. But there's future energy sources like hydrogen and fusion that are just around the corner. So why are we going to war against oil at this point when that's such a big part of our economy and it drives all of our prices? It makes no sense. Day one, when the Biden administration took over, that's when everything was backwards with the economy.
So it sounds like to me, and we're going to wrap it up in just a minute here, that you have a very distinctive strategy for border security. People are concerned about their safety. Now, in Nye County, we're strong people. I think we know how to take care of ourselves. But tell me about your strategy.
So let me tell you about the border. I've been down there several times, okay? I believe, maybe it's for my combat time, you got to get feet on the ground. You got to understand the situation. I've been down there. I've talked to the ranchers. I've talked to the illegal immigrants. I've talked to the Border Patrol. I've talked to the cartels down there, okay? I want to understand what is going on. Right now, the border is wide open. They come across, they wait right there on the road at the border. When the Border Patrol would come, the illegals run away. Now they just sit there and they cheer. And they hop in because they know what's going to happen and they're going to get processed and they're going to get released into the United States. That's what's happening at our border right now. It is completely wide open and we have millions coming across right now. The equivalent to 6 or 7 Las Vegases is what has come across that border.
And look for more of my interviews all week with more candidates here on News 25. And as KPVM continues to expand its digital platform, Maria Centers now joins us from Nellis Air Force Base in Las Vegas with the latest.
The 510th Fighter and Fighter Generation Squadrons recently completed Red Flag 24-1 right here at Nellis Air Force Base. Captain Chad Smith joins us with all the details.
So our pilots at Red Flag for 24-1 are receiving both large force engagement training, where they are implementing and exercising and training with coalition partners of Great Britain and Australia, in addition to dropping live weapons and training for upcoming deployments.
Red Flag Nellis provided realistic training that mirrors the pacing threats investment in hypersonics, artificial intelligence, and counterspace capabilities.
The importance of evolving and preparing obviously for the future warfighting, it just looks different today than it did 5 to 10 years ago.
The military exercises allowed airmen real-time war scenarios to test their readiness attributes.
I think the biggest takeaways we have from Red Flag this time especially is seeing just how much we can gain from working with our Air Force partners, our Navy partners, our Marine partners, and even Australia and Great Britain, and how the understanding of what they all bring to the fight is absolutely critical in making sure that we're executing appropriately and maximizing everyone's capabilities.
Reporting right here from Nellis Air Force Base, I'm Maria Centers with Southern Nevada News Network.
And this marks Nellis Air Force Base's initial military exercise of 2024. More news now. The non-judicial candidate filing period opens in Nye County. Mikey Ruhan has the details.
The filing period for non-judicial candidates runs Monday, March 4th through the end of the business day, Friday, March 15th. No person may be a candidate unless she actually, as opposed to constructively, resided in the district to which the office pertains for at least 30 days immediately before the close of the candidate filing. Please see the Notice of Primary Election on NyeCountyNV.gov. For the offices on the June 11, 2024 ballot, county seats include County Commission Districts 1, 2, 3 for 4-year terms. The last day to withdraw candidacy is Tuesday, March 26, 2024 by 5 p.m. For more information on how to file for office and forms, visit NyeCountyNV.gov.
And the Las Vegas History Museum will be hosting a STEM career quest to give students the chance to engage in careers that involve science, technology, engineering, as well as mathematics. Anthony Roberts has more on this learning event.
The Las Vegas Natural History Museum is celebrating CCSD Spring Break with a STEM Career Quest from March 11th to the 15th. This 5-day drop-off program will be held Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., which will be followed by a STEM Career Rally on March 16th. Designed for students ages 7 to 11, STEM Career Quest aims to engage participants in the exciting world of STEM careers through a series of hands-on activities and engaging experiments with industry professionals as well as graduate students sharing their educational experience and passion. Each day will focus on a different STEM career, offering an in-depth exploration of the various fields and opportunities available for students. On Monday, March 11th, the students will focus on anthropology. Tuesday, March 12th, will be marine biology. On Wednesday, March 13th, the focus will be on medical. Thursday, March 14th, paleontology, and on Friday, March 15th, will be archaeology. Enrollment for this week is priced at $125 per student, and registration closes on March 6th at 4 p.m. For more information and to register for STEM Career Quest, visit www.lvnhm.org/event-details/STEM-career-quest-1.
Coming up, Mikey has your look at sports. We had a little bit of a race this weekend. Wasn't quite the F1. Mike will tell you all about it.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. Vegas Golden Knights currently in action. Here's Mikey with your look at sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at www.kpvm.tv and now on Roku. Golden Knights were in Buffalo on Saturday. They lost 7-2. They're in action right now in Columbus against the Blue Jackets. Vegas Thrill Volleyball welcomed the Atlanta Vibe this evening from the Dollar Loan Center. Kyle Larson won the 2024 Pennzoil 400 race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway on Sunday, making Chevrolet undefeated this season. Raiders All-Pro punter A.J. Cole was the grand marshal of the race. Big League weekend is this weekend. Milwaukee Brewers square off against the Oakland A's at Las Vegas Ballpark. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thank you very much, Mikey. A quick check of the score. Vegas Golden Knights, Columbus Blue Jackets, tie game 2-2 after one period. More news now. All available horses are successfully adopted at a saddle-started wild horse adoption event hosted by the Bureau of Land Management.
All available horses were successfully adopted at a saddle-started wild horse adoption event hosted by the Bureau of Land Management and the Nevada Department of Corrections. Silver State Industries conducted at the Northern Nevada Correctional Center on February 24th, officials say. 41 qualified bidders, including successful adopters from all over the United States, attended the event. BLM officials say 19 saddle-started wild horses from herd management areas located on BLM California, Nevada, Oregon, and Utah public lands, trained for approximately 4 months by inmates, were offered for adoption. In addition, one burro from the Seven Troves herd management area was offered for adoption, which was shown with the inmate trainer, showing he could be ridden. Successful bidders paid a combined total of $89,650 for the animals, with bids starting at $150. The event's saddle-trained wild horse averaged $4,718 each, with a top bid of $9,000 for Copper, a 7-year-old 16.1 hand chestnut gelding from the Coyote Lake Alvord Tool Springs Herd Management Area, located in Oregon. The animals available for adoption typically come from overpopulated herds on public lands where available vegetation and water can become scarce as population grows. BLM officials say there are no natural predators that can effectively control wild horse and burro population growth on public lands. Since 1971, the BLM has placed nearly 313,000 wild horses and burros into private care. The next saddle-trained wild horse adoption and competitive bid auction at the Northern Nevada Correctional Center is scheduled for June 15, 2024. Additional information on this partnership, including past and current event catalogs, is posted online at blm.gov.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, nice shot as usual at the Lerner and Rowe weather cam right outside the studios here. And the wind has settled down just a little bit, thankfully, because we don't need any more weeds or tumbleweeds blowing into the backyards. Bleak forecast up in just a bit.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Good evening, Nevada. I'm Roy Rosell here from the Channel 25 Weather Studios and streaming everywhere at KPVM.TV. Taking a look at Nevada right now, up in northern Nevada, Fernley is at 43 degrees, Fallon is at 47, Carson City at 42, Tonopah also at 47. Goldfield at 51, Beatty at 58, Amargosa at 64, Las Vegas at 60 degrees, and Death Valley at 73. Here in the Paradise of Pahrump, it is currently 60 degrees. It was partly cloudy today. Earlier, it was 61 degrees. Humidity 26% today, and the sun rose this morning at 6:09 and set at 5:42. It looks like we're having longer days now. The low tonight is going to be 38 degrees tonight, and the humidity raises up to 55%. But taking a look at the 7-day forecast, it looks like throughout the week we're going in the high 60s and 70s at the end of the week. We have low winds and a 15% chance of rain on Thursday. But we also have partly cloudy skies and sun throughout this week and next week. Well, I hope nobody blew away this last weekend, but I hope everybody is going to enjoy the 70s this coming week. Back to the desk, here's Chris.
Looking good, Rory. Thanks so much. The 70s at about 10 degrees when that sun hits. That'll just about do it for us here. News 25. Have a great night.